Most people think motivation is something you either have or you don't. It isn't. Motivation isn't a feeling, it's a system, a biological negotiation happening inside your brain between effort, reward, and prediction. When you feel like giving up,
it's not because you're weak. Your brain decided this is no longer worth the energy. Here's what changes that. 1. Your brain doesn't track effort, it tracks progress. Deep inside your brain, there's a system constantly asking, am I getting closer or not? If the answer feels like no, dopamine drops. Not because you failed,
because your brain thinks continuing is inefficient. This is why vague goals kill motivation. Get better, work harder, fix my life. Your brain can't measure that.
So it stops investing energy. But the moment progress becomes visible, even artificially, motivation starts to return. That's why checking off a small task works.
Why breaking goals into tiny steps works. Why momentum feels addictive. Because progress isn't just satisfying, it's fuel. 2. You don't lose motivation, you lose clarity. When people say, I don't feel motivated, what they usually mean is, I don't know what to do next. Uncertainty is expensive for the brain. It requires prediction, decision-making, risk evaluation. So, your brain does something simple. It avoids. Not laziness, optimization. The clearer the next step, the less resistance your brain creates. Not the full plan. Not the 5-year vision. Just the next move. Open the document. Write 1 sentence. Do 1 repetition. Clarity reduces friction, and friction kills action. 3. Motivation collapses when rewards feel too far away. Your brain is wired for short feedback loops. When effort and reward are too far apart, the system breaks. Because to your brain, delayed rewards are uncertain rewards. So it redirects energy to what feels immediate. Scrolling, snacking, distractions. Not because they're better, because they're faster. If you want motivation, shorten the loop. Don't just work, track. Don't just try, score it. Turn effort into something visible, immediate and real. Even if the real reward comes later, your brain needs proof now. 4. You don't need more discipline, you need less resistance. People worship discipline, but your brain avoids unnecessary effort by design. That's not a flaw, that's efficiency. If starting feels heavy, your brain won't start. So stop forcing intensity. Lower the entry point. Make it so easy it feels almost pointless. 2 minutes, 1 step, 5 lines. Because starting isn't about motivation. It's about removing the barrier. And once you start, something shifts.
Your brain updates its prediction. This isn't as hard as expected, and suddenly,
continuing feels easier than stopping. 5. Giving up is a prediction error. When you feel like quitting, it feels final, certain, like you've hit a limit. But most of the time, it's not a limit. It's a miscalculation. Your brain is estimating the future based on current discomfort, and discomfort distorts everything.
It makes what's ahead feel heavier than it is. your brain chooses the safe option. Stop. But if you continue just a little longer, you collect new data.
And that data often says, this is manageable. Motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after evidence. 6. Identity beats motivation every time. If your actions depend on how you feel, they'll always be unstable. But if your actions reflect who you believe you are, they become automatic. Your brain is constantly trying to stay consistent with your identity, not your goals. Your identity, I'm trying to work out, needs motivation. I don't skip, needs alignment. One depends on energy. The other depends on belief, and belief is far more stable. Most people wait to feel motivated so they can act. But the system doesn't work like that. Action creates evidence. Evidence changes prediction. Prediction creates motivation, not the other way around.
So when you feel like giving up, don't wait for the feeling to change.
Change the input. Make progress visible. Make the next step obvious. Make the start effortless. Because motivation isn't something you find, it's something you generate by proving to your brain that moving forward is still worth it.